Hello folks, Phil Gallagher aka ThrabenU here for another Legacy video. Today's video is sponsored by cardsphere.com and we'll take a look at them a little bit later on. So, today we're going to be playing with a card that was so good that it got itself banned in Commander. Rofellos Llanowar Emissary, which taps for 1 green for each forest you control. 2 forests, mana dork that taps for 2 mana. Cool. 3 forests, mana dork that taps for 3 mana. Eyebrows start to raise. This is a very consistent way to make a whole bunch of mana. And Dane asked me to build a Rofellos deck and gave me like 5 potential options for the direction for the way to go. And the one of like the deck that they submitted the most deck that they submitted that I liked the most was the one that was built around Primeval Titan. Because guess what? Earn 2 Rofellos, earn 3, control 3 forests, cast Primeval Titan. Earn 3 Primeval Titan is a pretty sweet thing to do. And that is usually going to fetch up a Dark Depths and Thespian Stage combo to make a Merit Lodge, although if we're a little bit later in the game, we can start working with Field of the Dead. Now, don't avert your eyes, but take a look at the mana base over here. It's a little spicy, I'm not gonna lie to you. We are playing with a whole bunch of dual lands that we don't actually need in this deck, purely so that they could be forests for Rofellos. And we are playing a whopping 3 copies of Yavimaya Cradle of Growth, because that turns everything into forests, powering up our super mana dork. So the goal with this deck is tap Rofellos, play a Primeval Titan, question mark, win. Now, we need some other things to do with the mana, assuming that we don't always just naturally draw Primeval Titan. So we're actually just going to have like 8 other ways to find Primeval Titan. We are going to use Fiend Artisan as another outlet for our mana. So for 7 mana, we can sacrifice our Rofellos itself to go and find Primeval Titan, or for 7 mana, we can go ahead and use Green Sun to go and find it. And this will also give us access to some silver bullets in game 1, like Endurance and Collector Oof. And I'm going to throw a Ramunap Excavator into this deck to rebuy some of these lands. The original draft of this had like some Wastelands and Bojuka Bogs and stuff, but I think you can only get away with so much in this mana base. Like, assuming that you want to have a basic land for matchups like Delver, like you want to run a basic Plains. Oh, we need to swap out that art. All right, bam, Lightning Plains, all better. Okay, assuming that you want to run a basic Plains and another like white utility land, and you're already running a handful of colorless lands, like you've just got to make sure you have enough forests to kind of make everything reasonable here. And like that's kind of again what this Yavimaya Cradle of Growth is doing. I moved the Bojuka Bog to the sideboard because it is an ETB tapped land, and like that is going to matter a lot for the purposes of Rofellos. So we are going to be a lower land utility deck than something like the traditional like green-white depths deck list that runs a lot of the same cards as this deck does. But we are going to gain the upside of being able to do very big, very dumb things quickly and hopefully consistently. As far as the sideboard goes here, every card in this sideboard is a totally reasonable Magic the Gathering card that we can cast. Okay, real talk though. Carnage Tyrant is something that I'm going to board in for the control matchups, because this is just a turn 3 play off of Rofellos, just Rofellos tap, uncounterable Carnage Tyrant. I didn't want to play the new one from Phyrexia, All Will Be One, because like Carnage 6 mana is a turn 3 play, and 7 mana isn't. And we're going to play some Carpet Flowers to make sure that we can do our big dumb things more consistently. In terms of combo matchups, I'm going to hope that we're playing against graveyard-based stuff, because like then I have some snowball's chance in hell of being able to like pull together a match win. And then we're going to play some Mindbreak Traps for the other things that are going to be faster than that. Yeah. So let's see how this deck goes. If you're new here and you like what you see, please consider subscribing. And if you're a regular, throw me a like before this video begins. It's the easiest way to support my content for free. Let's battle. Okay, we've got a weird opening hand here where I have 2 forests, the ability to cast a Rofellos, I have interaction, I have a Ramunap Excavator for if I get wastelanded. I think on the draw, I just keep this, but this is literally my first set of games with the deck, so I don't really know for sure. All right, we are probably playing a lands mirror match of, well, okay, mirror match. Big air quotes here on that. I'm not going to be able to play Rofellos turn 2, but this feels like a fully necessary play. Ramunap, blah, 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 blah. Ramunap Excavator would be very nice here, assuming that my opponent is going to want to wasteland me in the not too distant future. Green Sun, that's fine. Is that an accelerant? I don't think that's an accelerant. I think that's a Primeval Titan a couple turns from now. I'm just going to go ahead and play this and pass. Wasteland on this land is just like super awkward. But if my opponent does that, they're probably not Urza Saga-ing. So that's the good news. All right, so drop a forest. I'll play a Rofellos, and I'll leave up Swords to Plowshares for Urza Saga token. There's the fetch. And my opponent can have their critter. I'll wait to see whether or not they are going to produce another one before I Swords to Plowshares this and give them that information. They are floating mana. Before I give them extra life, I think I will go ahead and just do this. All right, there is a map. There is a blast zone. I don't know what this is going to be. Minskenboo? Minskenboo, yeah, okay. I have a Karakas that I can find with Primeval Titan. That's, like, definitely not a problem. Ooh. JK. That's a problem in a different capacity. Alright, that slows me down a lot. I can do a Green Sun for X is 3 this turn. Getting a Grist. I don't have a creature to sacrifice. Get a Knight of the Reliquary. Tremble and Haste. 4/4. Just play Ramunap this turn. I just play Ramunap this turn. Let's do that. Gives me something that in theory can pressure the Minskenboo to the point where the hamster might not attack. Alright, see how this goes. Alright, there's the hamster. Oh, a lightning bolt. Sure. Another land drop. I'm going to eat 4 damage. That is a Rofellos. So I can just Grist and Dryad Arbor here to kill the Minskenboo and assume that I can beat the token later on. Another lightning bolt's weird if I do that. But playing out Rofellos just isn't like the best versus Minskenboo. Dryad Arbor. Green Sun for 3. Get Grist. Minus Grist. Sacrifice Dryad Arbor. Destroy the Minskenboo. Now I'm down a land drop since I sacrificed that Dryad Arbor, but this play essentially gains me 4 life from Boo not hitting me directly, and then gives me time for Field of the Dead to start doing stuff. Okay. Yes, let's take a tapped Temple Garden out of play now. So that isn't an issue in the future. Could also take Bayou there, I guess. But I already have 4 different colors for Prismatic Ending for another Minskenboo. I only have 1 Prismatic Ending left in my deck. Alright, goodbye, Grist. A crop rotation now. Wasteland? Sure. 1 wasteland is not a big deal. Multiple wastelands, like via Life from the Loam, would be. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yep, yep, yep. Yeah, that is a problem. I've already used my Ramunap. And Rofellos looking a lot less good right now. We're certainly working hard right now. Oh god, my opponent just milled over 2 Minskenboo. Alright, there's Life from the Loam, returning a gajillion lands. So much for my dreams of casting a Primeval Titan. Going to get obliterated by this fucking hamster. Down to 11. Alright. I will drop a Reclaimer. It certainly has a big booty. And I'll bash in with Rofellos. Elvish Reclaimer in theory, and very much in theory, can go and get me a Caracas that I can use to get rid of this token. But that's more of a theoretical thing than an actual thing at this point. I think my opponent's just going to keep going after my resources. And they are going to continue to be the beatdown here, which is reasonable. Yeah, there's a Primeval Titan that I can't cast. Land plus Blast Zone makes it so that I can't really double block. My opponent has a billion lands. I'm gonna go ahead and throw in the towel here. I don't think this is happening. So I want access to Bojuka Bog. I want access to Endurance. I don't know that I want to mess around with anything else. Collector Oof has a small degree of utility here, but is not super necessary. A lot of the rest of the stuff that's here is perfectly reasonable. Not the best at beating Minsc and Boo. I planned Prismatic Ending for X's for that. I kind of want to cut this card. Sorcery Speed. In a way that's very awkward versus something like a Merit Lodge. Against my opponent's Lightning Bolts, I think I'm going to cut Hierarch for another land. And I need 2 more cuts. Like, this is easy if I don't want to try to cast Prismatic Ending for X's 4 on Minsc and Boo. Which I don't think is super realistic, but it might happen sometimes. Let's try this. Well, with another forest, this would have been great. I don't think this is reasonable as is. This is totally acceptable, and probably actively good. Get to keep 1 of Grist or Endurance here. Because, like, the core of my hand is these 5 cards. I can hedge against Minsc and Boo, or I can hedge against Graveyards. I think I hedge against Graveyards. Throw back Grist. Alright. I will start on a basic forest, so at least that can't be wastelanded. And then we'll go and grab Dryad Arbor from the deck. Like so. Ooh, opponent just naturally starting on an Urza Saga. Ooh. Discarding your Yavimaya, how dare you? That should be in play. Punishing Fire. Ugh. That could be pretty brutal here. This one? Actually, do I have a snow-covered basic? I do have a snow-covered basic. Let us fetch that. Yeah. Snow-covered land into this. I just need to dodge another removal spell for 1 turn, and then I just get Primeval Titan, and from there I'm in an incredible position. Right, there's another land. Okay, it looks like I have dodged. Drop rotation. Raucous. No. Okay. That's brutal. I probably don't play that this turn. I probably just go fetch a basic, pass the turn, and then Endurance their graveyard after they tutor with Urza Saga. Alright. Critter. The map. This is all fine. Kind of hoping they don't have another crop rotation, because then they could fetch crop rotation and get a lot of stuff back. Or sorry, get the Punishing Fire back, which is like very much relevant. Do I want to attack? My opponent plays another artifact I want to attack. I would be happy trading Bolt and Construct for Endurance. Alright, let's go ahead and send this in. Opponent takes the damage. I'll go tapped Temple Garden and drop this again. I'm trading this like Rishadan Port. Like, I know my opponent can Caracas and bounce this to my hand, but if they tie up mana in that capacity, it's probably overall good for me. Any turn where Rofellos makes it around the table just instantly gives me a Primeval Titan. Alright, and we are gonna just trade 3 damage back and forth. That's fine. Force the Plowshares is very actively good for me. We'll just keep sending in with Endurance. Go to 13. Drop a land. Play a Rofellos. I am not going to Source of Plowshares this Construct token. I'm going to save it for the Merit Lodge that is about to happen. Ooh, my opponent is just going for an Urza Saga. Yep. Alright, there is Urza Saga. So if my opponent's not going to Merit Lodge me immediately, I probably do this so that I can tap out for Primeval Titan if I do draw a land. My opponent is committing to a slower game rather than trying to combo off. Remunap's cool. Alright, battle, battle, battle. Opponent goes to 12. Play Ramunap. Grab a Windswept Heath. Play a Rofellos. Next turn I have Primeval Titan into probably Field of the Dead and Caracas. Yeah, that's fine. I was expecting that. So essentially what my opponent is going to be looking to do is create an Urza Saga that can infinitely generate tokens. And they're going to do this by going to the second stage of Urza's Saga and then going and copying some other land. All right. No Rofellos for Phil. No love whatsoever for Rofellos. Let's pick up a Bayou. Elvish Reclaimer. So let's go ahead and Primeval Titan. Yes. Pick up Field of the Dead and Caracas. Okay, that was just enough for my opponent to concede. We were about to make a very large amount of zombies, because I get 2 from them entering there, and then I have, like, multiple Windswept Heaths as well. Actually, maybe could have just picked up 2 Field of the Deads. Alright, so now my opponent knows what's coming, assuming that I do get to kind of do my nonsense. On the draw, Prismatic Ending becomes a little bit more reasonable. I think I'm just going to resubmit this as is, though. Possible I can go down some number of Fiend Artisan. But they are something that will just outgrow Punishing Fire and Lightning Bolt, and it's not legendary to boot. Yeah, this hand's totally reasonable. I'll have to kind of decide what exactly Green Sun is doing, though. Probably just becoming Dryad Arbor. Sure. That can get scary fast. I do have Swords to Plowshares, which is cool, though. Another Exploration? Okay, it's a map. Sure, that's fine. So, I think Green Sun is an accelerant here. I'll take a basic forest for right now. And snag Dryad Arbor. Pretty reasonable turn 1 from both of us. I think my opponent's currently favored, like they were on the play. I think they can do some pretty gross stuff here. Alright, that is Punishing Fire, unfortunately for me. And part of a Dark Depths combo. This needs to be Savannah, so that I can cast Rofellos and then have Swords to Plowshares available for the second half of the combo. But this exposes me to Wasteland, and I don't like that. But it's an it is what it is situation. Ooh. My opponent can play this in a lot of different ways. They can go for the combo, or they can just take Grove. Yeah. I do not currently have access to Wasteland to destroy Grove. So there's the Punishing Fire, which is a problem. Bojuka Bog almost solves my problem. I can play it, but then my opponent just returns, so I might have a chance later to take out that. I have 1, 2, 3 in graveyard already, which means Elvish Reclaimer is live. I'll go ahead and deploy that while holding up Swords to Plowshares for some of the worst case scenarios. Oh, maybe a little sloppy there. My opponent didn't return that. The heuristics are a little different in the post-endurance world, though, so may not be a mistake, maybe a play choice. Hopefully one that I can capitalize on. There's another Boseiju, or I guess, sorry, first, or no, this is the second one of this game. Yep, just going for the stage. Totally reasonable. This is awkward. I think I just have to play out the bog my opponent, and then see how they respond. They might just let it go in an attempt to just kill me. Or they might settle in for a longer game, in which case I can tap out for a different permanent. Alright, Bog. Target you. How do you feel about your graveyard? Yeah, they are letting it go. Thinking about whether or not I want to hold this up. I think I want to hold this up. See if my opponent's just going for it here. They are. They will make their 20/20. I will give them 20 life, which matters a lot in the short term, less so in the long term. All right. So opponent's running on fumes, but has Urza's Saga. I don't have Wasteland to find here. I'm going to turn this Bojuka Bog into something else. Yavimaya helps me out a lot here. Helps my opponent a bit, but I think it helps me more. Go ahead and take that, because that'll let me double spell just so much easier. Kappa. Every time. Every time. I still don't regret it, like it helps me get set up for a big Rofellos Fiend Artisan turn. Yeah. Alright. Opponent's at 35. Then I'll drop both my creatures and call it a turn. My opponent's 1/1 tokens are not actually a big deal as of right now. I am about to just Primeval. Yes! 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 Yeah, like untapping with that just represents like a Primeval Titan every turn for basically the rest of the game, which is strong. Today's video is sponsored by Cardsphere.com. Cardsphere is a service that allows you to buy, sell, and most importantly, trade your Magic cards with other people and game stores from around the world. As you can see here, they are doing a lot of business. They only take a very small fee, 3%, and if you decide you want cash instead of cards, you can also get paid out via PayPal for a small cut. P.S. They also have articles, so please consider checking them out. Okay, round 2, my mana just doesn't work here. Now my mana works. I'm gonna throw back Swords in the Vacuum here, I think. The exploration isn't particularly good, but it helps smooth out a lot of my awkwardness, and if I keep the exploration, then sometimes Green Sun can actually be a threat. Do I have Collector Oof in game 1? Yes, I do have Collector Oof in game 1, and that's a huge deal here. Oh, it's Black Saga Storm. That takes my Green Sun, presumably. Okay, it took exploration. Fine. Reclaimer can represent a Bojuka Bog. I think I'm not going to care about that. On turn 3, I can Green Sun, and it's incredibly strong. I can do this as a Dryad Arbor and work towards naturally drawing another. I think I just need to keep this, though. I think I'm just going to play Field and pass awkwardly. Just accept that I got slowed down a lot. Like, my opponent did not play a land drop on their turn, so, like, things can go wrong for them here. Cabal Therapy, taking my Green Sun, is quite good. Womp womp. Alright, my opponent is taking themselves off of Metalcraft to draw a card here, and that's definitely scary. Okay, they do have Metalcraft back. Less scary then. Alright, that is a Reclaimer. So I'm going to pick up a Savannah here and play my first Reclaimer, so I don't eat a 2-for-1 with Cabal Therapy, should that be a thing that happens. Prismatic Ending would be such a hot draw here. I'm looking for Prismatic Ending, I'm looking for Green Sun. I'm not dead now. It feels like my opponent's hand should have been a mulligan. Like, I don't know what's over there, but, like, that deck goes fast. Oh, yep. Alright, I've lost Primeval Titan. But yeah, this is not the sort of stuff I think my opponent's deck wants to be doing. I'm going to play out this land. I'm going to go ahead and fetch. Pick up just some dual land. Doesn't really matter what, just needs to be a forest. Go ahead and play out an Elvish Reclaimer. I'll pass the turn intending on clearing my opponent's graveyard with like a Bojuka Bog to grow both of these to 3/3s. I won't actually miss out on damage by doing that. I'll actually be increasing my damage. Okay, well, yeah, we're chilling. Get rid of the Field of the Dead. I don't think I'm going to get to the point where this is relevant unless I also get Bojuka Bogs in the board. Stage then. Stage. Randomly spike a Depths for an easy kill. Reasonable. A Knight. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'm on the beatdown plan now. Making my opponent's ad nauseum worse very quickly. So this brings them to 10. And then we'll drop Knight. Guess it doesn't matter what I leave up. I don't have any cards in hand to bluff anything. Am I just going to get like a turn 6 combat kill against a combo deck in game 1? It just feels wrong. Skillfully navigated matchup. The London Mulligan's really good, folks. Like, really, use it. Like, I know I get criticized on this channel for mulliganing too much, but London mulligan's strong. Okay, my plan here probably involves these, and we'll think about it. We'll think about it. Ramming up Excavator is not necessary. Grist is probably not necessary. I'll probably go down a couple of these and use like Fiend Artisan and Green Suns to find them. Like my primary win condition is just Green Sun for Collector Oof. Probably go down a Field of the Dead. I can just find that with one of my tutors. Do I need Noble Hierarch ever? Green Sun on turn 1 just finds Dryad Arbor. Vast majority of the time after that, it's a Collector Roof. Endurance isn't exactly insane. I could like not play this many Endurance. Like, I can occasionally stop Cabal Ritual from having Threshold. Really hard to disrupt something like an Echo if my opponent is playing that with this. Just keep big mana lines with Rofellos. I guess Fiend Artisan is kind of slower than just playing the Primeval Titan. Just like turn 2 Rofellos, turn 3 Primeval Titan is just a thing I guess I want to be able to do. Alright. How many green sources do I have? 17? 17 green sources. 2 hits for Collector Oof while I still have Mindbreak Trap. Okay. I will risk it. I would never keep this without the Mindbreak Trap here. But the Mindbreak Trap is probably a trap that is forcing me to keep a questionable hand. It is just so strong if I hit one of those 17 outs. And even if I don't hit one of those 17 outs, like as long as I hit some land drops and progress, this Mindbreak Trap can buy me a little bit of time. Storm is 1. Storm is 2. Mindbreak Trap is on. Alright. Land pass. Still no land from my opponent over there. Alright, they're chilling. I hit a land. Turn 2 Collector Roof. Cool. Good game. Yep. Storms 1. Urza Saga is reasonable. I believe I will just naturally beat that, like, quite easily, though. I'll bash in for some damage. My opponent to 18. I assume Rofellos is just the best thing to do. I'll think about it, though. So, play Rofellos. Next turn I have 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. Maybe 6. Well, maybe more than that if I spike another forest. I'm just going to go ahead and use this to get me out of the mana bottleneck that I'm in. Gain of progress on this board, though, would be hot. Maybe I shouldn't have been a coward and I should have boarded it in. Okay. So that stops attacks in the short terms, but, like, an Urza Saga is not going to beat my Collector Oof. Specifically with, like, Rofellos here to do Rofellos shit. Primeval Titan as the draw. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. So let's go ahead and drop Knight of the Reliquary into play. And I think just Green Sun for a Dryad Arbor. That's just going to guarantee Primeval Titan to swing the game next turn. Is not attacking into Urza Saga over there. You may have your token. Again, not very worried about beating Urza Saga construct tokens with like Primeval Titan and Knight of the Reliquary and such just available. Shadow Spear can't be activated. This is fine. I also just do have like Source of Plowshares and Prismatic Endings that I can draw to make my life easier. You can bash in, that's fine. I'll take this hit this turn. Go to 14. My turn. Second Mindbreak Trap isn't really doing anything here. 3, 4, 5, 6. Go ahead and do a Primeval Titan. Yes, I will use that ability. I can do this a couple of different ways. I can just get a Merit Lodge, or I can get Field of the Dead plus another land. Let's get the Dark Depth stuff here. Then I can sack a land to do cool nonsense. Don't know that I really need to do that yet. Show my opponent what's up. I'll just pass the turn. And Fiend Artisan in the future just represents more idiots. LED is fine. Okay, there is some black mana. Sure. Storm 2. That's fine. That's less fine. Actually, that's probably okay. Okay, so my opponent can send in with both. I can go ahead and block with Dryad Arbor. Load a green. Sacrifice a forest here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lands. Not quite Field of the Dead. I'll just grab a Yavimaya. Alright, so I'll go ahead. Take some damage there. I should be more than fine to use Merit Lodge to block this next turn. Lol. I'm not gonna think about this turn too hard. I could. I don't think it's necessary anymore. Yeah, I could think about this. I'm not going to. Alright, attack with Primeval Titan. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 1 Field of the Dead. Alright, so let's field and then, like, get a Trop, I guess. It's a blue source, which is a thing that matters. Alright, opponent goes to 18. I will tap Rofellos for a very large amount of mana. Cast a Force of Vigor. I think targeting Shadow Spear and LED. Let's just make it so they can't trample over my zombies, and make it so that they're less equipped to do something broken and combo-y. I will drop another Knight of the Reliquary, and a Fiend Artisan. I still have a Knight of the Reliquary activation available. And I also just have a Merit Lodge kill next turn. I also just have the combo-based stuff covered. This Knight probably could have attacked in, but I didn't think I needed to think about the turns. All right, we have gotten the GGs. We're now 2-0 with Rofellos and Legacy. All right, I've kept my opening hand here. We'll see what my opponent is doing. Okay. Are we burning? Are we blood mooning? Yeah, we blood mooning. Solitude. So red-white initiative. Rhinosphere slows me down so much here. That's horrifying. That would have been good otherwise. We're chilling. I'm scared of Blood Moon. I'm scared of initiative creatures. I'm not super scared of a Hate Bear. Ooh. Why did you keep your hand? Don't keep hands that do that. Fuck, I fucked up. I was supposed to play Caracas. Alright. Archon is annoying. Not the end of the world. So I just need to dodge a follow-up creature here. Like, I can beat an Archon. I can brute force power through that. Why was your hand to keep? I don't want to be an asshole and Green Sun for Collector Roof and shut off Chrome Box and knock my opponent off of white spells. I can also just, like, play Knight of the Reliquary into Knight of the Reliquary, assuming that one of them eats a Solitude. The Knights just, like, aren't so impressive right now. Do the Green Sun play. If my opponent randomly has, like, Swords to Plowshares or, Touch the Spirit Realm, this is really strong. Okay, it is a Solitude. Pitching Swords to Plowshares. Alright, good call on my end. Okay, so all I need to do is continue to dodge an initiative creature. And, like, I will eventually just Merit Lodge, kill my opponent. Like, I don't know how many turns I can get away with that, but certainly try. Knight? And I don't think I want to be Prismatic Ending anything that's on board here. Like, the most tempting thing is the Chrome Box, but at the end of the day, I do just want to kill my opponent. Yeah. So now I just kind of hope that I can... No Archon attack. I think I'm just passing and discarding a creature for the purposes of Fiend Artisan later. I don't know. Fiend Artisan is so unlikely to matter in this match. I'm just going to discard the redundant Exploration that is, like, certainly never doing anything. Alright. Caves of Chaos Adventurer gets thick. Alright, it swings in. Opponent reveals another Archon. Just confirming this isn't creature tapped, right? Yeah, nope. Non-basic lands that are tapped. Alright. Float mana. Sacrifice. Find Dark Depths. Copy Dark Depths, and we're kind of all in on this. Keep the one with no tokens, no counters. Make a 20/20. Successfully block. And our knight is also a 5/5 now, so, like, I become the aggressor. Another Archon is fine, and very much not a problem. Alright, I'm not going to make any plays, because Trinisphere is a thing that exists. But I can take the initiative and make a land drop here. Alright, good stuff. Allows me to pick up green mana. Make a land drop pass. Start an exploration again, I think. And then if I draw a land drop, I can just Prismatic Ending the Archon. Or Swords to Plowshares the Archon and call it a day. Okay, Seasoned Dungeoneer is probably not going to be good enough for my opponent. They also, well, no, never mind. Alright, so they can trap me. They can't swing with Archon. It has to chump block. I did not hit my land drop to just immediately kill them. Oh, but I just have it with Knight, because it's non-basic lands. Yeah. Go ahead and sacrifice Forest. Pick up a new Forest. 3 mana. Swords to Plowshares Archon. 20 in the air. I think my opponent should have mulliganed their hand. Like, turn 1 Trinisphere isn't all that attractive if you can't back it up. Like, keeping a turn 1 Trinisphere hand versus, like, an opponent that you don't know sets you up for failure a lot of times, because, like, you often lead on a soul land, and if you go Trinisphere and then your opponent goes Wasteland you, like, you often lose to your own Trinisphere. Lockpiece into threat is way better than Lockpiece into Lockpiece, and that's what my opponent did this game. Trinisphere into skip a turn into Archon. That hand wasn't keepable. I don't have a lot that I can board for this matchup. I can play Force of Vigor for some artifact mana if I'd like. Also takes out Trinisphere. I can play Bane of Progress so that I just get better at playing 2 mana Rofellos into big dumb thing. I might actually just do that. How big is Bane of Progress innately? 2? Innately 2. No, that's not playable. Okay, so if I do this, and we are at the if stage, let's be clear here. If I do this, I probably get rid of some number of Fiend Artisan. Would be a tutor for prime time. Endurance can go. Actually, maybe it can't. I'm very limited on things that can block an Archon. Ramunap can probably go. I don't need to rebuy my lands. But 3 Fiend Artisans? That's probably pretty reasonable. The game where I'm on the draw is going to be hard. I guess the previous game I was on the draw, right? I don't know that I'm on board with this hand. I just don't have a payoff card. I think I'm going to ship and try to do better. Turn 1 is land, exploration, plains, Source to Plowshare as a creature. I have no turn 2 play after that. 2 draws at a land to play Knight of the Reliquary, which still doesn't get me anywhere. I think I'd rather go to 5. I need a forest in 2 draws for this hand to be good. I will keep this. Pitching Fiend Artisan. And I think I just pitched the exploration. I've already mulliganed. Like, it can put me ahead 1 land drop immediately, but I don't think that's what this game is about. Alright. See how bad it is. It can be real bad. It is red-white. It is Seasoned Dungeoneer on turn 1. That's quite the clock, but at least I can contest it and get another basic land when I attack. Field of the Dead, not what I'm looking for here. It gets considerably worse for me if my opponent plays a follow-up creature that can just block Elvish Reclaimer. If they don't, I can maybe out Goldfish my opponent. It's going to be hard because Seasoned Dungeoneer can't be chump blocked by zombies. They at least have a chance. Ooh, an Archon. Archon's annoying. And could really just mess me up. Alright, I'm at 14 on turn 2. Again, like, that's the power of this deck. That's what this deck is supposed to be doing. Yavimaya, nice. So let's attempt to take the initiative back. Success. Grab a basic forest. This is probably my opportunity to play Yavimaya before it is just going to enter tapped forever. And now I have 2 more untapped land drops coming. But I just don't know that I can race this Seasoned Dungeoneer with that many counters. I don't have, like, life gain here. I need to draw, like, a Swords to Plowshares. That would be real hot. Oh, another Seasoned Dungeoneer coming. Yeah, that's That's rough. Like, this is 7. My opponent takes the initiative. I get trapped to 2. Like, I can play a Primeval Titan, but it's not like I have Glimmer Posts here. Ugh. Yeah, so, like, my opponent just soloed me with a Seasoned Dungeoneer on turn 1 this game. And then it's going to play another one, it looks like. Oh, it's a Caves of Chaos Adventurer instead. Sure. Man. Turn 3 Primeval Titan into turn 4 Primeval Titan is absolutely legacy shit, but I was on the draw here. So I am going to lose. GG. And I'm going to go ahead and just submit my deck as is again and just hope that being on the play this time can give me leverage. Oh no. This is so close to working. This Caracas was a forest. I think this hand is a keep. The Force of Vigor is, like, not bad. But I think I ship this one. Just try again. This is not necessarily my ideal hand. I think I'm going to go ahead and keep it, pitching 1 Primeval Titan. Now it's just like, is Green Sun Dryad Arbor? Or do I want Green Sun to be Collect Roof a turn or 2 down the line, or what? I think my plan is fetch Savannah. I always have green-white available even through Archon, and play Reclaimer on 1. Hope not to get bit in the butt by Blood Moon, specifically for taking this line. Like, if my opponent plays Initiative Creature, and then I just attack in afterwards, like, it's pretty good for me. Another Green Sun. We'll take that. That just means this one can be a mana accelerant. I think I'm gonna take the one. Maybe it's just Dryad Arbor. Yeah, Dryad Arbor contributes a forest for if I do Rofellos, which matters. All right. Sure. That is a Seasoned Dungeoneer. That's fine. My opponent can get their planes. End of turn. I'll just remove that creature without kind of breaking my stride here. Another Primeval Titan. That just means I'm going to get a Rofellos this turn. So Reclaimer can hit in. Bring my opponent to 19. I will take the initiative. Guess I get green here. I'm thinking about the basic land. I know I have Yavimaya. Could have attacked with Dryad Arbor as well. I forgot about the basic land that I was going to be getting. Alright. So I've got Rofellos into Primeval Titan. My opponent can take the initiative back. I presumably can take it back from them on my own turn. Okay, yeah, there is a Caves of Chaos Adventurer. My opponent will forge up their creature. Prismatic Ending, not doing anything right now, but it can do something in a minute. Oh, that's 7 mana. I have 8 total mana. Oh, sorry, Dryad Arbor is up. Yeah, okay, sure. I have 6 mana just like that. I'll use this ability. 1, 2, 3, 4 lands. Let's get Thespian Stage, Dark Depths here. Am I fine with throwing away both of these? Yes. That's fine. I think that block is supposed to go on Dryad Arbor. Alright, I take the initiative. I will forge up Primeval Titan into an 8/8. And I've left my opponent with some very real problems. Like, I just have another Primeval Titan on my turn. I also have a Merit Lodge on my turn. I also have active Field of the Dead on my own turn. Revealing a City of Traders. I will take the block. Like, you can... Yeah. Scoreboard? Scoreboard. 3-0. Alright. Took a break to eat dinner. I'm back. This hand's unplayable. This hand is unexciting, but is going to be a keep. Thinking about whether or not I want to keep the Prismatic Ending blind. I think I just want to be a combo deck this game. I'm going to throw back Prismatic Ending and just, like, keep extra lands in case I get wastelanded or whatever. Okay. Does the Riddler, the Riddlesmith Storm deck, play this land? I don't know that they do. Alright. Immediately punished for throwing back Prismatic Ending, I guess. Woohoo! Well, I'm very excited to see what happens on the other side of the battlefield here. It's another... Oh, fuck. Okay. A Primeval Titan. I think I always want mana acceleration here. I'm just gonna grab a basic in case Blood Moon is a thing. I don't think it is, but like I really don't know what's going on over there. Like, I know it's unfair. Like, I'm very certain of that much, but beyond that, it is unclear to me. I will be taking this damage. Alright, there's a tomb. Sure. And a trop. Trop basic? Maybe just fetch forest? I don't know. I have Rofellos to think about as a draw. Alright, do this. Drop Reclaimer. Attack for 1 here. Next turn I could play Dark Depths and rotate for a land. Okay. Sure. That's just purely for a counter. Can't even float mana here, no Metalcraft. Alright, so that's cashing in the first draw 4. Ooh. That discards Echo. That's very cute. That's a new Reclaimer. This will be play Dark Depths, 2 mana to rotate a land away. Still leaves me with the ability to just play a Reclaimer. I don't have Bojuka Bog in game 1. But things are probably getting wild on my opponent's turn. Galvanic Relay. So next turn they are getting an LED. Is a little scary for me. I think I need to throw away Dryad Arbor here. Find Thespian Stage. I will kill my opponent on my next turn. Oh, that's really good. So let's play this. Fetch. Pick up Savannah. Swords to Plowshares this critter. Hit my opponent for 6. And I just have Dark Depths Thespian Stage to kill them next turn. I also just kill them if they tap Ancient Tomb. So hopefully this is good enough. They can do a draw 7 with Echo here with the Flamestoker in play. Okay. The opponent is going for Echo now. Ooh. Swordsing this puts my opponent to 6, which is still lethal even if I don't do Thespian Stage nonsense. I think I'm into that. And we'll see if my opponent can do something else broken. They are going to try. Gamble throws Defense Grid in the yard. I presume they are doing another Echo. I don't have priority here to do Endurance. So this occurs. Okay, sure. 6 total mana. Defense Grid is occurring. Oh, you're done? Okay, you're done. Oh, but I don't have enough lands in... Or no, that's not a problem. I can put the appropriate number of lands into my graveyard, right? So this is just fetch. That's 1 land in graveyard. Then Thespian Stage, target Dark Depths. Keep the one with no ice counters. That sends 2 lands to graveyard, giving me the 6 damage that I need to kill my opponent this turn. Okay, that was a really fucking cool line. I like that. Alright, I want that Bog. I want Mindbreak Traps. I want Force of Vigor. Endurance technically does stuff. These are the things that I'm going to be thinking about. Ramunap does not seem necessary. Grist is technically a removal spell for a Vindictive Flame Stoker. Yeah, Vindictive Flame Stoker. Fiend Artisan loses a lot of utility if I can't build up the graveyard. The same is true for Elvish Reclaimer. I guess my primary plan is Rofellos into Big Dumb Thing, backed by a free spell. I always want this stuff as well. I go down 1 Field of the Dead here. Bojuka Bog replaces that. Oof is so good. I don't know if I want to get rid of Fiend Artisan as a way to find it. But Endurance is a card that I can pitch on my opponent's turn and mess them up a small portion of the time. Like 3-4 beats are real. Unsure on these last couple cards. I think I'm going to get rid of a Knight and get rid of Grist on the draw. Gonna auto mulligan this one for not having enough mana. Just makes a Collector Oof on turn 2. It's not exciting. It's probably fine. We'll see how many spells my opponent can just play on their turn 1 here. Like, their deck is built to do very dumb things. So, there's a Burgy. Is presumably not the card that my opponent gambled for. I'm assuming they gambled for Echo. Yep. Oh, my hand is now very bad. Okay. Please Echo again, I guess. Alright. I have weathered the storm, but I just, like, have nothing here. Okay. They're cracking all of the bubbles. Another Primeval Titan. I think Yavimaya is my play here, despite the fact that that might help my opponent a little tiny bit. 3 cards drawn for the baubles, bringing them back up to 7 cards. 8 after they draw. No Metalcraft currently, but I assume Metalcraft comes back easily. Yep. Made a short about this being a card that, like, people were potentially sleeping on. I would say that I feel vindicated now. Heh. Ooh, Burgy. Alright, there's another Echo, which does some nonsense. The Echo is good for me because my hand is garbage. This is a much better hand. It doesn't do anything right now, though, which is maybe a problem. Oh, it's popping off. More mana, more counters. So at this point, this is just a one, or no, not, no, yeah, this is a 1 red mana draw 4, which is hot. Gamble gets another Echo so that they can do it again. Rite of Flame discarded. Okay, so now they're gonna junk their hand. Oh, no more Echo. Another gamble. Discarding a Belcher. So they're still going. There's scary amounts of... Okay, there's the other Echo. We go again. Okay, this is a Force of Vigor. That maybe matters. Doesn't matter for anything right now. I can hit that LED, though. And I'm going to hit that second LED as soon as they put something else on the stack, I think. Yeah, I think this is my moment. Force of Vigor, targeting both LEDs, pitch a Reclaimer, and hope that that sequencing messes with my opponent. Okay. I got something in terms of interaction there. And hopefully some stuff just gets stuck in my opponent's hand. Alright. We have perhaps weathered the storm, but that is a very large galvanic relay. I believe everything from about here down is actually in that pile. Okay, there's a gamble. Junking another galvanic relay. The last card is an Echo. I have a lot of removal here. Alright, that is a grape shot. With 19 copies, that does kill me. GG. I guess with Charbelcher here, my opponent's not exactly playing real lands. When I'm on the play, I think the Grist is more reasonable. Sometimes it's a turn 2 play. Off Hierarcher or Exploration or Green Sun. And Endurance is kind of awkward. Like, in theory, can do something, but it mostly involves my opponent messing up timing. I'm going to bring the Grist in over 1 Endurance on the play here. This is turn 2 Rofellos, turn 3 Primeval Titan. That's really good gold fishing. I don't think it cuts it here. I think I need to interact with my opponent in some capacity. The goldfish harder here. This has a Mindbreak Trap. Get rid of Primeval Titan and Prismatic Ending. Try to luck into a Dark Depths-based kill. This is less objectively powerful in terms of offense than my initial hand, but is much stronger defensively than what I was working with before. Alright, sure. Storm is 1. Storm is 2. Storm is 3. Storm is 4. Getting rid of Defense Grid. Yep. Echo. Passed by paying 0. And now I hopefully have time to just do something broken. Here we go, drawing Thespian Stage. Damn. So, I think I wait on this with 1 more mana. This becomes Collector Oof, which probably locks up the game for me. I think that's better than just getting a 1-drop right now. Like, Elvish Reclaimer is very tempting, but I think I'm just trying to slam the door on this game in terms of mana. Nice. I'll go ahead and cast this for 2. Pick up Collector Roof. My opponent has very minimal amounts of mana remaining in their entire deck now. I need green mana I need white mana so little here that I think I just increase my clock. I can get a Knight of the Reliquary here, I think is my play. Bash in for 2. Opponent goes to 15. Green Sun for X is 3. Get Knight. Then next turn, I can sacrifice some land, probably Dryad Arbor, to just go and complete the Merit Lodge combo-based kill. I do have Slaughter Packs to be cognizant of, but my opponent would have to probably win on the same turn. Yeah. Send in for 3. Just have the mana to play this as well. Okay, that's the concession, and we are now 4-0 with the 4x Rofellos deck. A very special thank you real quick to some of my new patrons. Haupt, Cloudy, Evan F, Thomas J, William H, Claire, Ben M, Mungo J, Dade G, and Jack H. I recognize most of those names from Discord now, but remember, if you have supported me via Patreon or YouTube memberships, please make sure to link your Discord so you can get in there and have some conversations with me and the rest of the community. All right, back to the battles. All right, playing for the 5-0 here. First hand's a mulligan, it just doesn't have enough mana to get things started. Second hand is absolutely a keep. Thinking about Fiend Artisan versus Knight. I think it's Fiend Artisan that goes back. I think so. I'm in trouble if this Yavimaya randomly gets wastelanded. There's maybe a reason to play Green Sun for Dryad Arbor on turn 1. But Reclaimer leads to a much faster and cleaner Goldfish. Because on turn 2, opponent's a fan of the content, and I told them that they were the end boss of this video. Alright, it is a Chrome Mox matchup again. Pitching Fable. Moon's kind of scary. Trinisphere, not a problem. We are good with Trinisphere in this house. I don't need to cast another spell to win this game. Ooh, like that. Alright. Last turn. Magus of the Moon will destroy me. I should beat most other cards. Assuming this is mono red and not red white. Okay, nice. Yeah, this is fine. End of turn. Reclaimer. Sacrifice Caracas. Get Thespian Stage. Play Dark Depths. Stage. Target Dark Depths. And Dark Depths taps for mana because I control Yavimaya. Keep the one without counters. Reduce Merit Lodge. Now I have the appropriate number of lands in the graveyard to just go and attack with this. And again, assuming that we are not playing against red-white initiative, my opponent should not beat a Merit Lodge in game 1. They would have to have Dead Gone, which is not super common in the main deck. Yes! I want this trophy so bad. I want it so bad, YouTube. So in this matchup, I want Force of Vigor. What's my plan? Is my plan just play Rofellos, play 6-drop, win? It seems reasonable. I might play Bane of Progress. Ramunap doesn't matter here. It's too slow. I have 6 pieces of 1-drop interaction. Maybe on the draw, my plan isn't every big dumb thing known to mankind. Maybe it's just survive the initial turns. On the draw, this feels slow. That's just going to become another blocker. Fiend Artisans also feel a little slow. I'm just going to be better versus like Goblin Rabble Masters and random stuff like that if I board this way. I still have Rofellos into Primeval Titan or Green Sun as endgame, while still having reasonable game versus a lot of other stuff. This is fine. Yes, this hand is great. This just produces a very fast Primeval Titan. Oh, my opponent's going to 5. Alright, my opponent's on 5. I have a strong hand. We'll see what they can do. 2 mana on turn 1, 3 mana on turn 1. It is a turn 1 Fable. And they're all in on it. Swords of Plowshares would be an amazing draw. Negative. I believe I just fetch a basic forest here. or specifically a snow-covered forest. You'll use the first green sun, grab Dryad Arbor, turn 2 Rofellos, and tapped Temple Garden, turn 3 Primeval Titan, turn 4 Dark Depths combo, and Field of the Dead active. My opponent found a card they liked. They didn't loot. I'll take 2. And we're chilling. Oh, exploration. Land drop 1. Rofellos. Land drop 2. Tapped. A Fury would randomly be very strong here. Otherwise, I think I'm pretty good. Okay, what are we doing? Caves of Chaos Adventurer. I do not believe that is a problem. Like, Reflection of Kiki-Jiki Caves of Chaos Adventurer is really good. I think I can just beat that with Dark Depths Primeval Titan. No attack into my Rofellos, which is a mistake from my point of view. So, play land drop. 4 mana. 5 mana. 6 mana. Primeval Titan. My opponent has said wild deck. You bet. You absolutely bet. That will get Field of the Dead and Thespian Stage. Triggers. Oop. I can only attack with a Dryad Arbor this turn, so I'm not actually taking initiative. This is just another Primeval Titan next turn. So we'll call this good. And see what my opponent can do. Alright, there's a copy of Caves of Chaos Adventurer, which does trap me. I lose 5. Now, both of those creatures do need to attack. They do have trample. Okay. Finding a Spirit Guide. And a second Spirit Guide? And a second Spirit Guide, sure. I think I need to block the real copy here, and then I'll just soak up damage. Again, I can just win with a Dark Depths at my convenience. Takes very little damage here. Okay, sure. Okay, there's a land drop, and then they will hardcast a Spirit Guide. This is acceptable. Oh, I just drew a Primeval Titan. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cast a new Primeval Titan. Yes, I will pick up a Yavimaya and a Caracas, I guess. Trigger Field of the Dead a few times. Still have mana to make Dark Depths. All turn. From 10, with this many blockers, I should be pretty safe. Weird things can happen with initiative decks, though. Sure. Very happy to see mana being dedicated to anything that is not killing me. Finding a City of Traders. Ways that I see myself losing involve me punting. That's fine. Finding Taiga. I think that's the trophy. Oh, we've gotten the GGs! Trophy, baby! Let's go! That one feels good. Well, overall thoughts on the deck list. A thing of true beauty. Honestly, I do think we ran a little hot this league. I think what we are doing is very objectively powerful, but I think if the pairings break a little bit differently, or if my opponents play a little bit better, I don't 5-0 this league. Like, your opponents are going to make mistakes, but I really had the opportunity to capitalize on those mistakes, because like Rofellos into Primeval Titan is just insane, right? Like turn 3 Primeval Titan is very fast, even by legacy standards, and when it just searches up either a 2020 or searches up the ability to like go wide and grind, like as options, it just leaves me in a really good place. I'm not sure how this decklist should be adjusted. Fiend Artisan wasn't necessarily at its best throughout this league, and I think I frequently boarded it out in my rounds for my more interactive pieces. Like, I don't know if this deck should just, like, find another rampy thing and, like, try to get to Primeval Titan more consistently, rather than trying to play this Fiend Artisan toolbox thing, but, like, Fiend Artisan plus Rofellos mana is, in theory, another way to get to Titan fast. But I like what's going on here. I think this is an idea worth exploring if you are the sort of person who enjoys these sorts of deck lists, But I will say, like, Rofellos being legendary and being killable by every removal spell known to mankind is, like, probably rough, and, like, relying on this may not be the best. But the general strategy of get your opponent dead right now while the format is still young is definitely working. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed playing it. If you did, please click the like button on the way out. Dane, thank you very much for challenging me to build around Rofellos. This was a blast. I'll see you all again tomorrow. See ya!